Hello and welcome once again. It's another community spotlight from the Tiltify community. I'm Lou, head of community experience, once again bringing another amazing community member uh, into the chat to talk to us about just who they are and what they do. So Cococonfession, welcome. Or I always do that. And you know, it's a year into the pandemic. We've all been using the technology. You think I would know which direction to put, but I don't. Coco, welcome. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, you are an active fundraiser on Tiltify, but you have a big event coming up that kind of was brought to our attention, and we began to see all the work that you're doing as a content creator. And I think that's where we want to start. It's like, why did you get into content creation, and like, where did you start? What was the inspiration to get started, doing things on Twitch or YouTube or whatever medium that you've chosen to use?
Sure. So I've been on Twitch for almost 4 years now, and I started off as sort of a hobby. I was playing video games in my free time anyway, so I'm like, "Oh, well," some people close in my life just said, "Hey, why don't you just press that go live button and see what happens?" And so it was very casual for the first 6 to 8 months, and during that time, I loved it, and I felt I had a little bit of a knack for it, and it just sort of grew. And then I had an opportunity to start doing it full time, so I just sort of took that and ran with it. And it has been a journey, but it's been an amazing journey. And about a little over a year into my Twitch adventure, I realized I could use my voice to do a little bit more, which would be fundraising, and the Lupus Foundation was a very obvious choice for me.
Right. So you say that it was an obvious choice for you. It's because you entitle yourself on your across the board, across your socials as a lupus warrior, and I could only imagine that is because you are currently battling lupus, correct?
Yes. Yes, I was showing symptoms very, very early on, and then I was officially diagnosed when I was about 20. My mom also has it. So it was sort of it wasn't a really hard decision to say I wanted to fundraise for the Lupus Foundation of America. I knew I wanted to give back because the Twitch community had done so much for me. And I feel like when you're an entertainer or you're in a limelight of any sense, it's really important to use your voice for good. And that was how I felt like I could best use my platform to give back. And so my very, very first fundraiser, I was so scared, so nervous. I had no idea what I was doing. But it was great. And the community showed up. And that's how I actually got in touch with the Lupus Foundation of America. Someone had contacted me from there, and that's how I started to build my relationship with them.
Yeah. So what is that journey like? Talking to the charity themselves, knowing the impact they have. What you know what how does that feel to not only have a family member who has lupus, but also lupus yourself, to then be a part of this bigger conversation and this bigger cause?
I mean, I was really honored to have the opportunity. The Lupus Foundation of America didn't have a huge I don't want to say not a huge presence on the platform, but there were only a handful of streamers because when you look at Twitch, there are so many amazing causes that people fundraise for, but there are a lot of really heavy hitting charities. You St. Jude, Extra Life, you see a lot of that. And I wanted to raise money for a cause that really hit close to home and I knew impacted a lot of people, not just in my life, but also people that I met across Twitch. And lupus being an autoimmune disease, autoimmune diseases tend to overlap with each other. A lot of symptoms are the same, and a lot of people who have autoimmune diseases have other autoimmune diseases,
Right.
and sometimes they overlap with lupus. So I felt it was a great way to kind of spread awareness, educate people, and especially with Twitch, a lot of people who are unable to work or at home, streaming's really great because you can work at your own pace, you can set your own schedule, it's very flexible with how you can take care of yourself and focus on your own well-being as well as doing something that you love. So it just felt right to connect with them and build a relationship with them and kind of see what we can do to do more on the platform.
That's really exciting. So what are some of the like the impact points that they share to you to say, they say, Coco, because of your fundraising, you have done this to support the research or the support of people diagnosed with lupus.
So lupus doesn't have a cure, and it's one of those diseases that is going to impact you for the rest of your life. And that's a tough thing to have to manage and deal with. And so knowing that the funds that I'm raising on Twitch are going towards researching not just a cure, but treatments and all the education work that the Lupus Foundation does. It's just they help so many people. So it's really great to hear that what I'm doing is helping impact that and making a difference. Because it's not just also about the funds that we're raising, it's also about the awareness and
Mhm.
educating people. And it's really awesome to hear someone say, you know what, I had no idea it was like this. Thank you for sharing. So that's been really rewarding throughout this experience as well.
It's exciting to hear that your community has come together to really support the work that you do. I believe that we curate communities, and they often are a reflection of ourselves. And whether you're a business or you're a content creator, tell me about there has to be another layer to finding and connecting with other people in the larger content creator community who also have lupus. You have been a champion for the Lupus Foundation of America's upcoming project this May,
Mhm.
and May being an awareness month for lupus. Um, what is what has that been like, finding other content creators who either been affected by lupus or are there alongside you, raising that advocacy and fundraising?
So the Lupus Foundation of America was so fantastic when they reached out to me and said, "How can we help you?" And they wanted to be so involved. And so I was doing these individual fundraisers, and I said to them, I said, "Why don't we do a big event in May, which is Lupus Awareness Month?" I said, "Why don't I see what I can do? Let me see if I can get a team of people together." I'm thinking in the back of my mind, oh, maybe like a team of 5 or 10 people, right? Maybe they'd want to help me out. So I was thinking of like my close network of streamers that I know that I knew would want to help out with the cause. Um, and it was a huge eye opener for me because I posted a tweet and said, I'm working on a project. If you have lupus or if you know someone with lupus or if you just love charity, fundraising, reach out to me. I'd love to tell you about a project. And the amount of people that I had reach out because they either had lupus or knew someone with lupus or have heard about it, or they had someone they knew who had Crohn's disease or, another autoimmune condition. It was incredible how many people were really impacted by the disease. And it was a big eye opener for me. I was like, this is a huge opportunity to really make an impact on Twitch because people believe in this cause. And so, it went from three streamers to 10 streamers to 35 streamers in the first year. And I was like, wow, this is something that we can make something big out of this, a yearly event to really help educate people and raise funds for a cure. And um, finding other content creators was really great to be able to connect with people that were like me. And I think that other content creators out there were glad to have a group of people in a space where we understood and we know what it's like. And so it just kind of grew into this thing, into this big event in May last year. And people kept talking about it even after the fact. So this year, we're over doubled that amount of
Oh,
streamers.
fantastic.
Yes. And we are, we have a much bigger reach this year. And it's just been incredible the amount of support and how many people just believe in this event and what we're doing. And it's a really great way to connect with other people who also struggle with invisible illness. And they stream. So we all go through the same things, the fatigue and the pain and all of that. And we've really built a great community around that and wanting to help each other and help raise money for a great cause.
That's awesome. So is there, if someone wanted to get involved, where would they go? Do you have a team set up, or are you just pledging to participate? Give us the details.
They can reach out to me directly. I am Cococonfession on all platforms. We do have an official Lupus Foundation of America Discord. That's where we kind of do all of the planning and the updates and everything. And I'd be happy to get you that information. But it's a very important event, but it's very casual. If you want to join, you want to help out, we would be happy to have you stream as much or as little as you like over the weekend. And we have a really, really great time. And there's just an amazing group of people on the platform that are taking part of this event across all different communities, which is awesome. So, I mean, we have musicians and artists and video gamers and retro gamers and speedrunners. So, it's a really great group of people.
That's exciting. And remind me of the date for the event.
It's May 7th through the 9th. So it's awesome. Over that weekend. And you can reach out to me, or you can also reach out to the Lupus Foundation of America directly too.
Excellent. Now, you just mentioned that there's a variety of content creators, a diverse group of folks coming together for this cause this weekend, but you also mentioned music. So if somebody hopped onto your channel, your Twitch channel, they see like totally ripping it up. You were a guitarist and you're a vocalist. Is there anything else? I mean, tell us about the music. Looks like you might have a band. I'm not sure what's going on.
I do have a band. It was actually technically a Twitch, but we created the band for Twitch. Oh. I've been in bands, on and off for years. And, because of the pandemic, you can't play live. No places are open. So musicians are really, really suffering. And so I was like, well, I can't play live. Let's do it on the Twitch channel. Why not? And so we started doing theme shows, and we've had some really fun. So we did, the last one was Hip Hoppity Easter. So for Easter, we covered 90s and R&B and hip hop songs.
Nice.
For Valentine's Day, we did emo songs. So we have a really, really good time. And I play guitar and bass, and I am not really a vocalist, but I do my best.
Go out there. It's a lot of fun, and the passion and all of it was fantastic. No, I enjoy seeing that. And I think that's one of the ways kind of lead us into like, what are some of the best ways you found to actually fundraise, to raise funds, while you're using Tiltify? Is it just that, what's your ask? Do you use any of the incentives to kind of get people to donate? What's the tricks of the trade for Coco for fundraising?
So, I always try to make sure that the event is something that I would never do normally, or that it's something special. So a great example is I never play scary games. I hate scary games. I don't like anything. I don't like scary movies, but my community loves watching me play scary games. So I only play scary games for charity events, and I do scary alerts. So every time there's a donation, there's a scary alert. And that's something that's obviously very specific to me. But I think that the biggest tip would be like, find out what your community wants, find out what's special to them, do something that's kind of outside your normal realm of what you would do on a stream, and use that to make the event fun and exciting and kind of like you got to see this now because this is the time. And the most important thing is to have fun yourself too. Make sure you're having fun. And I have a blast during the fundraising events we do. I always get so excited for them, and then I'm so sad when they're over.
What is one of your favorite moments fundraising while live streaming?
I would say, the entirety of the Game On to End Lupus event last year was incredible. I had a goal of $5,000 for the entire weekend. And because of how much people were so excited about them, we had such a great time. Um, we over tripled that.
Oh, wow.
And I had never in my life thought that I would ever raise that much for charity in one event, but it was pretty incredible to see the amount of support. Um, and it kind of launched this whole event that we're doing now going forward every year. And it was it was a real great eye opener as to how much gaming can do good. And you see, on Twitter and social media and all these things, and people saying, why gaming's so bad for you or whatnot. And it's like, no, we can come together as a community and do bigger things and make the world a better place. And that was my big like aha moment last year.
That's
And
so
I will
exciting.
never forget it. I will never forget
No, well, obviously not. You're back with an absolute,
it.
I was going to say vengeance, but that seems like the wrong word to use, but you're back with, twice the enthusiasm to make an incredible impact this year. I'm excited to see what happens. And we'll obviously, can't wait to see those totals, but regardless, you've gathered a group of amazing content creators to really do something incredibly important, and we always love to see that. So thinking about, you said earlier when we started, like, you didn't know what you're doing, my first time fundraising. What is a thing that you would say, I really wish I would have known this, and it would have made things so much better? And it could be, I didn't know that Tiltify did this or that, or I just didn't know, any sort of thing. What was the thing that really flipped the switch? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that.
I think I would have to say that, you know, I felt like these events needed to be, these extravagant and the thing is that your community is there for you and your community is going to support you. So don't overcomplicate it. It's all about the charity. It's all about raising money. Don't funnel a bunch of money into your event because that's not the reason why you're doing it. I see people want to do like all these giveaways and things, which are great, but it's find out what your community wants, what they want to see, and go from there. And don't overthink it, don't make it too complicated. Have fun, and your community will be there for you. Hype it up, get excited about it early. Planning is a huge thing because don't figure out what you're going to do 2 days before.
It's too
uh
late at that point.
and it's yeah,
You're
you want
behind.
to you start talking about it a couple months before, start trickling in little details here and there, and get the excitement happening. I've started planning Game On to End Lupus since last September. So
Oh, wow.
that's how much time, it takes and to really have a thought out plan and how you want to execute your event. But most importantly, have fun.
Yeah, no, that is excellent advice. I love to hear it. I love to hear the have fun and planning. Those are two things.
Planning.
Have fun, but you got to plan. You just can't throw it up and expect it to be successful. Coco, it has been awesome chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
I wish you the best success, and we'll so excited to share our conversation with the community. And you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank
We'll
you.
hopefully
You
catch up
too.
soon.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Coco.